What up, man? I just want to speak upon something right quick when it comes to the American dream or this society that we live in, right? And the reason I want to speak upon this is because this is how my mind is. This is how I think, right? So when it comes to the American dream, right? What I mean by American dream is that this society, because that's what we glorify. We glorify because what do the American dream promote? They glorify money. They glorify fame. They glorify everything in society. They glorify everything that that will take you to your limit as much. And that's what I'm saying by American dream. It's like a big illusion, right? And that happens all the time with people, right? When it comes to this world and this society, right? And it feels like that. It feels like we're part of the American dream and we don't know how to get out, right? And the reason I say this is because this is how people are reacting. People are caring about things that's part of society. They're caring about how much money they got. They're caring about how much shoes they got. They're caring what type of outfits they got. They're caring about things that society glorifies. And that's what I call the American dream because that's what's happening on a regular basis. People are caring about things that don't serve, that don't that don't really help them. That don't really help them mentally and spiritually. You know, it's like they rather get wants instead of needs, right? And that's what kills me about this society and this world that we live in because it feel like it's all a big illusion. It's all a big like a plan or some sort, right? And we keep falling for it on a day-to-day basis when we listen to people, when we talk to people, when we talk about music we listen to, all these things play a big part in society, right? And we need to understand that this American dream or this illusion that they put it on for you to get off your path. Basically, for you to literally go into another realm, to go into another like an illusion, as sort. And they do it all the time, especially when it comes to movies, when it comes to TV shows, and we see this mostly every day, right? And it feels like we keep trying to we're pushing ourselves, we're pushing things instead of it's like we're pushing the bad things, right? And we're going into them. We're just saying, okay, this is good, this is bad, and we don't understand what's good and what's bad, you know. And because this American dream that we keep falling into is playing on your consciousness. It's playing on your consciousness, and it's so sad because you can tell that people is falling for on a regular basis. People is falling for what they see. People is falling for what they hear. You know, and that really it don't confuse me. It tells me what the world mindset is, what society mindset is. They rather listen to a person with millions of followers, millions of views, instead of listen to the person that actually give you real information. And I don't understand. I never understood that. I never understood you can be the most righteous, peaceful person, but you get more degraded and more disrespected, right? But it's so crazy to me. But if you had a negative heart, or you would disrespect you, or disrespectful, you'll have more praise. And I never got that when it came to people, and it feels like that's how society's moving, and it's so crazy to me because it feels like this illusion, this American dream, it got people where that they can be anything they want, they can do anything they want. But at the end of the day, though, people don't understand that negative never wins. Being disrespectful never wins in the end, right? And this what this society glorify. They glorify being disrespectful. They glorify all these negative things, right? And it's so crazy to me because they get us. And when I mean get us, I'm talking about people that's aware, people that have a conscience. They get us by they'll say something nice, you know, but their actions say something completely different, you know. What I mean by this, like the vaccine, for example, that right there, right? The vaccine, right? They will get a nice commercial, happy, it's good for your smiling in your face. But at the end of the day, though, the effects is more dangerous. But how you promote it to us is totally different. You promote it to us like it's a good thing, but in reality, it's a bad thing. And that's how society is going. They'll show you something, right? And it can be good in your eyes, but the effects and the action behind it is worse. And that's why I called this video the American Dream, because that's what I mean by the American Dream. They will say it's good for you and you get freedom, you get this, you get that, but in reality it's bad for you. Reality is not good for you, right? And we need to understand that when it comes to things and when it comes to people, actually, because people can do this a lot. A person can be nice to you, but they actually can be completely different. And you could tell that's how the world is going. That's why it's hard to tell somebody things. That's why it's hard to have a conversation with people. That's why it's hard to have an opinion. That's why it's hard to be truthful, because you don't understand another person's mindset or understand their consciousness, or they might take it the wrong way, you know? And this happens a lot when it comes to people that don't have an open mind of things, or really don't have an open mind about the world, right? Because what happens is that a lot of people are stuck where they are is because they have been through a lot of, I don't want to say trauma, but a lot of issues. Things have happened, you know? So they get stuck in a place where they say, I'm comfortable, I'm gonna stay here. And that happens a lot with people, you know? And some people, they try to help them, but they just like being there, you know? And that's how they want this world to be. They want us to be comfortable. They want us to be settled in and comfortable and relaxed. But really, you shouldn't be, you know? Why would you want to feel comfortable going to a work every day? Why would you want to feel comfortable getting water, by the way, that come from the earth, buying it at a grocery store? Why would you feel comfortable doing that? Why would you feel comfortable, you know, learning from going to a prison, going to a school system, going to that tell you lies? Why would you feel comfortable doing that? Right? But that's how they made it seem. They made it seem, but they make it seem that it's okay, but really it's not okay. And they keep doing this over and over and over again, and we always fall for it. You know, especially when it comes to people or we think that's in higher levels, like celebrities, rappers, actors. We fall for it every time, and we don't see it past the curtain. We don't see the result of it. We don't see, oh, okay, this has to be an distraction, so I'm gonna get away from it. No, we feed into it, and when we feed into it, we get off our pivot foot. We get off of it. We say, now I'm into this, you know. So everything I was doing, that don't matter no more. Now I'm into this, and that's what they're made to do. They're made to get you off your grind. They made to get you off your purpose, right? And this happens a lot, you know, because it feels like how the world are we back? Are we back? I don't know what just happened, bro. I was just speaking, and just next thing you know, everything just shut off. Okay, we back. All right. So what I was saying was, especially when it comes to people, it feels like the world is only getting worse, and it's not getting, you know, how can I say this? It's not. It's everything. What I said was on, it's on the surface now, and we have to realize that when it comes to the world, we have to realize that you can't be stagnant. You can't be comfortable now. You got to be on your grind. You got to be more aware of things and aware of people. Most importantly, right? And that's how the world is going now. That's why you can see that the illusions that people put on is not what it seems, right? And what happens is that you could tell this is why it's so hard for people to get with people that has a different mind than them, because this is what people think, right? They think that if I'm a friend with the friends with this person, right? They think we're gonna have more in common, right? Right. But in the day though, let's say you meet somebody that who's different from you, but they have the same ways, they have the same thought process as you do. They way different than you, but they say that they have the same consciousness as you do, right? And that happens a lot, right? And it's hard for people to do that because a lot when somebody's different from you, it's really hard to understand them and try to get to know them. And you could tell that when it comes to this world we live in, people you can only be with the person you relate to. You can never be with a person that has different ways of you and the different types of like thinking process of you. And that's how the world is going. People is actually being what they try. People is actually being with people that actually agree with them, who actually respect them and value them. You know, and you can see that a lot with people. You can see that people is getting with people that has the same mindset. You know, and you can really see that when it comes to businesses. You can see that when it comes to ideas. You know, and you could tell. You know, when it comes to this world, that it's very hard. You know, it's very hard to I feel like this because you could tell when it comes to people, right? A lot of people, right? A lot of people wants to be positive people, but they have so much negativity around them that they can't be positive, right? And you see that on a regular basis when it comes to people, right? And people they don't, what's the word? They don't really let go, right? Because it's hard to be positive when you're around a bunch of negative people that get you into like an angry or a demonic state, right? and I and I and I and I say this because you could tell that's what's happening. People wants to be positive, they choose negative because the things that they around, the environment they are around, right? And for those type of people, you realize that because as me, right, I try to with myself, right? I'm a peaceful person. I'm very peaceful. I'm very a righteous person, right? So what I try to do, right, to me, all I try to do if I'm trying to be positive, I'll do things. I'll eat healthy. I'll try to make myself better, and then I'll get away from those people. That I'll get away from them very quickly and fast. To give me on the right mental state and to give me on the right spiritual state and physical state. You know, and you could tell that's what's going on with people. People are trying to be positive, but they have a lot of negativity around them that they can't be. They can't be positive, you know. And you can see that when it comes to people. You can see that when they like you can see with people face expressions how they really feel. You know, if you're really in tune when it comes to energy and aura and stuff like that, and you can tell that's how the world is going. You know, and and I feel like since we in the Ukraine age, a lot of knowledge is spreading, a lot of ideas are spreading, a lot of people mindset and views are different from the other person, and you know more and I know less. You could tell it's like a gap now. You could tell that people are still living like the people down here. They're gonna be still living on a lower consciousness level, and you can tell that the people that's on a higher level of thinking, you could tell. You could tell there's like a split down the middle. You could tell that it's low vibration and high vibration. You can tell, right? And and I feel like if this keep going on, you could tell it's gonna be like a whole shift, a whole change, right? Because a lot of what I have noticed is a lot of people especially back in 90s and 80s, the things that we're talking about when it comes to the spiritual community and things of that nature, you can tell people been talking about this. But since we have, well, we have more, like, I want to say technology, but we have more like things. We have technology out of fast, right? We have all these things where we can speak our mind and we can get the knowledge, especially when it comes to the internet and the computer, and things like that. And you can tell that's what's going on with people. You can tell, and it feels like we're gonna get into this space. When it comes to people, that we're gonna be on a higher level. You know, it's gonna be like an attitude where, hey, I'm on a higher level, and so what, and you on a lower level. That's how it's gonna be. It's not gonna be where you could tell how this world is going and how this society is going. That if you want a righteous level, fine, be on a righteous level. And if you don't want my help and you don't want to change, well, okay, so be it. Go our separate ways. That's how it is. You know, and you can see it, especially when it comes to people. You can see it a lot, and and the reason, like, you could tell, like, this world and this reality and this illusion that we're living in when it comes to the world and stuff like that, you could tell that the illusion that we're in is breaking down. It's breaking down. You can tell, you know. And I just want to, speak upon this, man. Give my, give my thought process about how the world and society is going. And I'm out, man.